the Leo Kingdom.
What is going on, everybody? It is David Palmer, Leo King, and I'm back. I'm back live finally on Facebook. It's been a couple weeks. I know that the last one kind of got some people really upset. I said the F word a little bit too much. So, yeah, that's me. I'll admit I'm not perfect. But you know what? I was on a rant last 2 weeks ago. It's just... this is such a crucial time in the astrology, and I am a Leo, and I get a lot of comments saying, oh gosh, you're too Leo. And I was like, well, maybe you shouldn't be watching the Leo King channel. But it is super Leo time. It is about spreading light. It is about spreading positivity, and that's not easy to do, especially when so many planets are retrograde. There's threats of nuclear war all over the place. And it can become frustrating trying to fix things in your life and understand the universe and even understand the earth that we're on and blah, 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 blah. All excuses. It's time to truly 100% find a way to shine through it all, a way to bring bliss through it all. And I know that it's not simple, and I know that it is a very big test. For a lot of people. And, I don't want people to think that I don't understand that, or that I don't get that it can be very difficult to deal with bringing positivity into very hard situations to deal with. And a lot of this week's live stream is about talking about that. That by no means at all is this one of the easiest weeks. I've actually predicted that I think that this is where a lot of the weird stuff is going to happen, is through this week. And we're basically about to jump into that energy tomorrow. And I'm going to, in the next day. So it's like preparing people, getting people prepared. We're about to have this big solar eclipse on August 21st. And yes, it's going to be a big one. Yes. It's got a lot of intense aspects, but I think the aspects that are in preparation to the eclipse are much more extreme than actually the eclipse itself. So, without further ado, why don't we pop up and take a look at what is going on in the astrology for right now and this week. Not on that one. There we go. For some reason, there we go. So, I am doing the astrology for August 17th, Thursday. This is when things are going to really start to get, I don't want to say weird, but the pressure's on a lot from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, my predictions in the app or in my monthly horoscope was from Wednesday to Sunday was going to be the biggest test spiritually of the eclipse. Why? Number one, we are finishing the eclipse cycle from the last one, which was in Pisces. And so this is a lot about purging the past, old emotions, deep fears. And what's interesting is this week, Venus is opposing Pluto. It's squaring Jupiter, and that's what we call a T-square in astrology. So our feel-good energy, Venus, which is in Cancer, wants to feel good, it wants to feel safe, is definitely coming into conflict with Pluto. The fear of things ending in death, and more importantly, the road that's in front of us, the things that we need to do. It's not easy to just take a break right now. You got to keep moving forward. There is no such thing as, quote-unquote, a break, especially right now. Then you got Jupiter squaring Venus, which, of course, Jupiter and Venus really like each other, but unfortunately, they're in a very tight square. Jupiter in Libra has just been trying to explore the beautiful world, but it hasn't been able to. It's been squaring Pluto, and now it's getting a square to Venus. So poor old Jupiter and finding peace and diplomatic situations in life and just finding that harmony has not been easy by what so means at all during this time of extreme love and happiness that we must find. Especially because the moon is going to be entering Cancer as well and be what we call a dark moon phase, okay? Which is also called a balsamic moon. Now, this is technically when it comes within 30 degrees, which is when on Friday and into Saturday, it's going to be the weekend that it will be the most extreme. So Saturday and Sunday will become the strongest part of this dark moon balsamic phase, which this balsamic phase means is that the moon will disappear at night. You won't be able to see it because it'll be so close to the sun. So it'll be around here, but it'll be in the sign of Cancer, which is an illuminary. So you've got the moon in its natural home and the sun in its natural home in a dark moon eclipse phase. This brings out extreme fears, extreme panics, and also it's because there's a major door closing in life. And this is going to be dealing with your safety, your security, your feel-good energy. This is also during the time, and I add that there's a Mercury retrograde that has happened, okay? So this Mercury retrograde has been in opposition to Neptune. Not easy to make clear the facts of where things are going. There's a lot of things that you know need to be fixed, need to be handled, need to be situated, need to be altered, need to be changed. But, you know, it's been almost like a paralyzing aspect. It's like, gosh, I'm not feeling the best. I don't have any breaks. I need to find some sort of comfort and emotions and dealing with situations. And there's relationship issues that are on the line. This is a South Node in Aquarius. This is a Venus in Cancer being in opposition to Pluto, squaring Jupiter in Libra. So this is bringing up extreme old emotional situations and relationships, trying to find the peace and harmony in the ones you're in, and are they on the same path and going in the direction that you really want to go in your life, while the big decisions are happening inside of your heart during a crazy Mercury retrograde time that is saying, I don't know, how am I going to make this all work, and how am I going to remain happy and go on the ball and make it all the right direction and stay strong and stay positive through it all? Well, not the easiest, but at the end of the day, what is on the other side of this? What is on the other side of this eclipse? Well, every eclipse usually brings at least a 6-month new beginning and a new start, which will start on August 21st. And this one seems to be freeze framing at a time where Mars and the North Node are getting very close. And this is also a week where the Sun and the North Node are coming, which means we are coming into a very extremely sensitive time in our lives about learning to understand, are we going to choose the positive direction or not? Now, it was interesting, 2 weeks ago, a lot of people were putting up on my YouTube, well, what if Donald Trump nukes the North Koreans? Or what if this and what if that and what if that? That's not good and that's bad and blah, blah, blah. All of them were what ifs. You have to wake up every morning and find your happiness and become authentic in bringing joy. You are the one that helps change this reality by bringing positivity. I have been saying this for a long effing time. The South Node in Aquarius is an overanalyzer, an over-rebeller, and tries to disrupt everything in the most negative ways to fix things instead of leading the way through positivity and light. We've seen multiple clashes with this weekend that just happened, which I think is just playing out of this South Node in Aquarius. I brought up that riots are going to be the main thing of how people are going to try and change things, and it won't change nada. The way to change it is, instead of going against them, outshine them. I'm going to be honest, if you've never watched me before, like, go watch my old videos or maybe talk to some people in the comments, but like, I've been trying to say this since before May, before the nodes came in. Rebellion will not work. This goes into your own life, which is about realizing that rebellion is also not going to work. Finding a way to see the situations in front of you right now that can be fixed with love, with happiness, with compassion, but more importantly, with finding ways for you to look at your emotions, look at how they value certain things that are from the past that might need to end. This is a major closing out and ending story in our lives right now. That's what eclipses are about. They close chapters and begin new ones. And on the dark moon phase, which is coming up through this week, and a major T-square of Venus to Jupiter and Pluto, which these two planets are the most extreme, Jupiter being the biggest, Pluto being the most intense, and Jupiter and Pluto are actually homies, if you didn't know, okay? And they're against each other, so they're like brothers fighting. And Venus is the little girl caught up in the middle of this mess, okay? So it kind of is like a girl stuck in the middle of two men fighting. And that fear that comes up when that happens of like, oh my gosh, is she going to be okay? Get her out of there, you know? That energy starts to come up this week. On top of all that, you've got the sun on the north node, which is asking for a call towards following the light, staying on track, staying in your happiness, finding positivity, finding the positive road, and not going south. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Disrupting, causing riots, causing situations is not going to do it. The white supremacists tried it. Sorry, guys. Not what people want. That's not going to bring happiness. Rioting in your own life and trying to break shit in your own world is not going to work. This dark moon is going to be covering Cancer. Cancer is a sign that deals with your security. It deals with, more importantly, your emotional foundation. And this is going to go and show up all the emotions that you have deep inside of yourself, especially because Venus is opposing Pluto. Venus is squaring Jupiter. Your beliefs, your deeper underworld of truth, and how you really feel about your feelings and emotions about people and projects and reactions to things is at extreme this week. As the whole cycle is closing out for this big new one of a solar eclipse. You're going to have to put your emotions, you're going to have to put the past behind you and move into the light. And even though it might be like, I don't know how I'm going to fix this situation. That's what the Mercury retrograde in Virgo is guess what? You don't have the answer. You don't have the solution. You don't have the little handbook with the way to fix it. You have to learn to kind of fix it on your own. A good example is this weekend I was at my races and in my trailer, I have a brand new trailer. The generator just died, right? It's like I'm out in the middle of freaking nowhere. There's no power. So I'm like trying to figure it out. Like, oh man, I'm doing it a bunch. I checked the oil. Oh, there's no oil in it. It already ate through the oil. I had to figure out, okay, let's figure out. Pour some oil in it, fix the thing. Happened again the next day. Oh, sucked up oil. I've been having this thing on for like 60 hours. Boom, fixed it. There are fixes to things in life where sometimes maybe you don't know the answer and it's that freak out that you go, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Take it one step at a time right now and find love and know it'll be all okay and know that there's positivity. Everybody was so afraid of North Korea bombing the fuck out of people and then Trump going to nuke them and all this stuff. And look at it. He didn't even, Kim Jong-un didn't even fucking do it, okay? He didn't even do it. Everybody's all freaking out about it. They're all caught up in the media. They're all caught up in whatever. Like, you could have been enjoying your life all those days that you were freaking out about North Korea bombing us or us bombing North Korea. You just missed out on days and days of happiness and love in your life. So much. This is a Leo time. You know, it was also kind of crazy that, you know, there's so much Uranus energy that's getting built up with this because Uranus, of course, is going to start trining a lot of these energies that are coming up. And with Uranus retrograde, you know, it's kind of like, are you ascending higher? And especially, like, are you learning to, like, disconnect from situations that aren't you? It's like, maybe, you know, especially, I don't know why these riots keep coming up, especially from what my guides say, but I think a lot of this is realizing, like, gosh, you know, it's like, they're horrible situations. And this is about not attaching to bad things. This is about not attaching and getting caught up in frivolous battles. That's what Jupiter square Pluto is. Two brothers battling with Venus caught up in between in the middle. You know, it's like, yes, there's sides that are wrong and there are bad things. But you know what? it's like being a leader doesn't mean that you have to go fight them or go to war with them. And yes, Mars is in Leo. There's a lot about war and a lot coming up about war. But will it actually be war? That's the big question. And I think a lot of that is not going to be answered until Mars conjuncts the North Node the week after the eclipse. I think a lot of that is going to be answered when Mercury and the Sun and Mars all kind of come together and figure that out in the next couple weeks. But this is a time to attach to a positive place in your life. Disconnect from the things that just are not highly vibrational and show the way. This is a time where you have to have the courage and the strength of Leo to show the way it should be, to make life the way that you want it to be. Instead of getting all caught up into, oh God, I've got to fix it this way. You know, we don't know how the way to fix it is until we take it one step at a time and find a positive solution to it and find an optimal solution. But this is going to bring up everybody's emotions extreme. This is going to bring up everybody's issues. This is going to bring up separation a lot because guess where Mercury's retrograding in opposition to? Neptune and Pisces, which is trying to separate things, the oil from the water. And now it's like there's no way for some things to come together when especially you're not communicating right, or more importantly, you're attaching to this, you know, trying to prove yourself in your higher than mighty way of you've figured out the best solution. When the truth is nobody knows what the right solution is in the world. Nobody knows what the right solution is to make everybody happy right now. Nobody knows what is the best way to do anything. Nobody does. The only solution is to disconnect from all of that and focus on a more positive solution of figuring out a positive solution by staying positive and going in a positive direction. Instead of getting caught up into a bunch of crap, this is a time where people are just getting lost into crap and my issues and all my crap that doesn't make me feel good and doesn't make my life good and isn't making life good and everything that just doesn't make life great. It's like, if you're going to attach into that place, oh my gosh. I mean, no wonder you're going to be going through hell. I mean, this is a time to where the brightest light is out in front of us right now, but it's distractions. It's like flies. Like, are you going to sit there in the same place and go after the fly for 25 minutes when you could have been outside playing with your friends and just open the door and let the fly out? Are you going to be distracted from positivity in your life? I put up a post on Facebook, and because I kind of want to talk about this North Korea thing a lot. My post, because I wasn't live, I was too busy this last week, this was on Thursday. I've been pushing this message since before the summer. Will you let go of fear? Do you think this nuclear threat is just random? War fears random? Wake up. This isn't about Trump. It isn't about North Korea. This is about a low vibrational force that is wanting to feed off of your fear. Wake up. Are you going to cross to the side of positive, loving, and hope? Or continue to blame all your fears on Trump, world leaders, and news stories? Wake up. This is eclipse time. Mercury retrograde and a heavy Mars transit about to happen. Do not fall victim to the traps of the dark side. I posted this second transmission a week ago anyways, if you watch my channeling. Now, I've done some investigation, and I wanted to do some astrology on Kim Jong-un for you all, okay? Now, nobody knows exactly his real birthday. We know it's January 8th, but we don't know, okay, if he was actually born in 1983 or 1984, okay? Now, I believe he was born in 80. Well, it depends. It's a hard one to say. I've been trying to analyze both. I believe, personally, he's 83. I believe he's the moon in Scorpio, okay? Personally, I think he's the 83. I think he's got the Jupiter-Uranus aspect conjunct. in Sag. This is where Saturn is. Saturn's on his Neptune. He's delusional at the moment. He truly believes that he can bomb people and bomb the world and get away with it. He goes too far with radical extremes, and he was born with Moon and Saturn and Pluto at the last degree of Libra. His main Pluto issue is learning to find peace in the world, but his Moon and Saturn just is in Scorpio. He's tough. He's, it's a very tough. He makes heavy squares to his Venus, and he's born on Mercury retrograde. This is definitely his chart. He does not know how to communicate to the people correctly. He comes off weird to the people. He's got Mars in Aquarius, which makes extreme trines over to Pluto. He just feels like he can do crazy stuff however he wants, but he's got Pluto exactly on his sun. And with Pluto exactly on his sun, this is definitely a time where he has to change or not. So, to be honest with you, I truly am making a prediction that Kim Jong-un, if he doesn't make a choice by when Saturn passes his Neptune here, which is looking like, if we look at the astrology, and if we actually go into the months, let's get back to his Saturn. Pluto's exactly 17 degrees. Saturn's at 26. Where is his Neptune? His Neptune is 27. Oh, yeah, look at this. And how ironic that Jupiter will be on his Moon and his Saturn. No coincidences. I think that the first 2 weeks in November, let's see here on the days. When does Saturn hit 27? This would even make sense too, because Jupiter, Sun would be on his Jupiter. This whole North Korea thing is not going away. This is just the beginning of it. And when you look at Kim Jong-un's chart, it's all coming headway after this eclipse. So the stuff before is all rhetoric and talk and all that. Once Saturn comes direct on the 25th and it crosses Neptune, it's going to be extreme because he's going to have to either, let's see if he picks a spiritual side. Pluto's on his sun. I've seen many people die with Pluto on their sun. I've also seen many people change to a completely different person. He also has a lot of Scorpio. There's a lot of things he's hiding. He could be using this whole situation for a different advantage or something that we don't even know about yet. But I got a feeling that it's all coming up to a head for him in November. That's more of the ticket. 2, I want to say this. Also, if you look at November, let's see where Mars is at the time. Mars will be in Libra, coming up towards his Pluto, and then coming in Scorpio at the end of November and December. And Saturn, of course, comes into Capricorn. He's a Capricorn. And if he doesn't make it through November, the hammer's dropping of Saturn by the end there. Now, I want to show something about Donald Trump, which I think a lot of people should pay attention to, okay? Let's do this. So these are the transits on the outside, and here's Donald Trump. He's born with the Moon at 21 degrees. Look at the Saturn's exactly on Donald Trump's Moon. He is not. This is like one of the hardest transits in astrology to go to, and it's opposing his sun exactly. Okay, he is in a very tough spot, and the solar eclipse and the sun and Mars right now are in his 12th house. This is a very difficult time for him, but I believe that by August 25th and after this eclipse in the first house and Mars crossing over his rising sign days before the eclipse, or after the eclipse, I truly believe that he's going to get out of a lot of the more harder positions. I know a lot of astrologers are predicting the doom and the end of the Trump administration. I'm predicting quite the opposite. And I know some people don't want to hear that, but I'm just basing this off astrology. He's coming out of a very difficult transit. This is the hardest it would be. And he was also built to get out of it. I know a lot of people want to see this guy gone. I'm not here to tell you what's right and what's wrong. I'm just here to give you the astrology and give you the truth. Nobody wants to hear this stuff. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to hear what they wish for, And based upon his chart, I don't believe Donald Trump's going to be taken out. I don't believe Donald Trump is going to be just taken out. It's just not going to happen. Based off this, I think he has to make lots of change, redefine himself, and more importantly, make some of the hardest decisions of his life, which if you look at what's coming up transit-wise, when Saturn will oppose his sun after it's on his moon, and it's opposing his sun. It's right here, which is on October 11th, the day Jupiter comes into Scorpio. I think the North Korea situation from October 11th to the second week, let's say the second and third week, so November 17th through 23rd, that October 11th is going to be the North Korea stuff that goes down. This is going to take a while. This is not going to just happen in a day. This is not going to just happen in any minute. But, so stop freaking out. Jupiter's going to come into Scorpio, okay? It's going to be a whole different ball game. And Saturn for Donald Trump on that day finally leaves off of his sun and goes to 23 degrees. And now he's going to deal with some weird aspects to the moon and Venus. Of course, with Uranus starting to square his Venus again, which is going to happen exactly around the time frame that I'm speaking of. 25 degrees, 25:44 will be November 7th, and that week that follows on the 17th and stuff, where I'm seeing that third week, boom. That's also going to be where Mars is going to conjunct his Jupiter. Boom, look at that. On the 9th, boom, 18th. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the 17th, 18th. So, I wouldn't freak out about the North Korea thing so much right now. I would start to actually realize, I think there's a stalemate going on with Saturn stopped and a Mercury retrograde. This is definitely a time to work on yourself. Work on your positive spots. Stop freaking out about fucking Trump. If you're letting that guy dictate your life and what they say on TV, that guy's not in your world every day. That guy's not doing anything. Focus on your happiness. Don't get so caught up into all that crap. Move on. Move on. Be a Leo. Find some love in yourself. Find something that you love. I definitely didn't let wars with North Korea or possible wars or what everybody's doing or anything get me away from racing jet skis this weekend and having the best time of my life. I didn't let that happen. Leos kind of have to lead the way right now. And as a Leo, I can tell you, I know the Leos, we ain't worrying about a bunch of this crap right now. We're worried about ourselves and having fun and having a good life. YOLO, you live once. Live it. Don't let these outside circumstances, which I've been trying to tell people and I'm just going to I'm going to be a broken record about this, is the South Node is not yourself. It's outside influences. Why do you think Aquarius is aliens, outside influences? Leo is the internal sun. It's the sun inside of yourself. It's your own core. This is definitely a time where people are letting outside influences dictate their happiness. I need to be in a relationship to be happy. I cannot be alone. I need a job to make me happy. I need Trump to be gone to be happy. I need this to be happy. I need this to be happy. Oh my gosh. You go down that road, I guarantee you $1 quadrillion, you will not be happy when that thing, outside force, actually does happen. It will not bring you the happiness. Though happiness can only be found within the things that bring you deep happiness that you create inside of yourself, that find inside of your own power. And this is a week where you cannot fall victim to blaming outside influences emotionally on your comfort levels, on why you're not happy. This is definitely also more about not being happy with Venus making horrible squares to Jupiter, which is your belief of, oh my gosh, well, if this isn't good, then this isn't right. If this person's justified, Venus is squaring Jupiter in Libra. What is Libra? The scales, the judge. Oh, this is a bad thing to do, and this is not good, and this is not right, and they're wrong, and this is right. No wonder everybody's freaking out all over the place, because at the end of the day, they're judging what's wrong and what's right to make them feel good. Nothing could ever feel good by judgment of anybody or any situation. It's I feel like all the Leos are kind of standing back in the pride. Why do you think lions don't get involved with all the drama of all of the zoo? And they lay down and take a nap and enjoy themselves. They don't get all caught up in all the crazy drama of all the gazoos over there and the zebras running around and the giraffes over there. They chill out. And they sit by the river. And they send out the girl to go get food. No, just kidding. Well, that actually happens. But, you know, it's like, it's a total joke. People are going to take that one the whole wrong way. But it's like, they play. They piss on their territory. They enjoy life. You know? And yes, there's a predator aspect of Leo. Mars and Leo especially. This need to hunt. This need to horseplay. So it could be taken out as war and aggression, or it could be taken out as extreme sports, or, you know, having fun, or going on a hike. These are things to do right now to get out of all that energy. But if you're sitting at home on the internet, especially because what? Uranus and Aquarius rules the internet. If you're just sitting there on the internet all day, of course you're going to lose it. Watching these videos with square videos at the top that say, this person did that and it's affecting your world. Today, it's so funny. I got to show you guys this on my Facebook. You guys are going to laugh so hard, okay? So hard. So, there was this live video today that was done by somebody, okay? It's coming up. Hold on. Oh, come on. Where is it? You guys are all going to laugh so hard. They better not have deleted my comment. Hold on. Just give me one more second here. Here it is. So, this post today was about huge glaciers, like basically getting messed up, right? Okay? Live. First of all, this video is not live. There's no way that there's a guy sitting there recording this live, okay? This is real, is a news feed, okay? Okay? They just look for content to get people to watch, okay? Right? So it was not live. It was actually video that was just taken and shown later. It got 8 million views, and it got a bunch of people to actually believe that was actually happening at the moment, okay? So, but this isn't live, this is recording. There's no internet out there, LOL. And it got like 88 likes from all these people because people are waking up and seeing the truth. Like, do you really think that somebody's broadcasting this in perfect HD live and for This Is Real? No, they're based out of LA. They did not send a guy out there with his phone in the middle of Antarctica or wherever, Greenland, where there's zero cell phone service, zero, and Facebook effing live. The problem with what you are going to be dealing with right now in the world is people being distracted by entities like this that make you believe, and this is all about opinions in life. Saturn's in Sagittarius. We've got Jupiter in Libra, a judgment of it all, judging things. Then you've got, Mercury retrograde, a solar eclipse in Leo. This is a time where people are freaking all over opinionated. Opinions of the way that they think that life should be. South Node in Aquarius, how it all should look, how it all should be together. What's the best for the world? The way that the world should look. This is a question that we will all manifest and divinely be guided towards by the light over this next year of these eclipses in Leo and Aquarius. But this is not a time to lose it and to lose it into doing your research deeper. Like, I did my research on This Is Real. This is impossible. They do not have a person out there on their phone live doing this. Okay? This is real. This is real life. That's all they are. They're based out of LA. They just put out videos to get people, okay, for millions of views. Hello, world. They recorded this live. Do you think that they recorded this live? That's not even real. That's all. See, this is so fake. Wow, fake. Okay? That's not real. That's a fake star. Okay? People do things for views. So this was not live, if you notice. This was just a video. Do you really think they're in Africa? No. They just find a way to make content. You got to be careful and do your astrology, and especially right now with Jupiter and your beliefs and your research, squaring Pluto, you need to go deeper. You need to look at everything and be a little bit more realistic. 2, now that Venus is starting to square, you need to make sure that your emotions are not getting too over, obsessed with, oh, it needs to look this way. And more importantly, you're judging things automatically off the bat. This is definitely a really bad time. This is a time to lead with love and not any judgment. So, I know it's this week is going to bring up, it always brings up some of these basic things. Breakups, things coming together, major epiphanies and realizations, the truth, things that are difficult to deal with that are coming to the surface and don't have any more room anymore to be hanging around with because they're finally at this position to where they're all the way up. This is a solar eclipse to light up all the situations and burn them out and start over. So everything's coming up, and this dark moon is in Cancer. It's bringing up all your deep well. The 4th house is the bottom of the chart. It's the bottom well. It's the subconscious, the psychic storage, the karmic debts. There's a lot of karmic debt as well, especially with the fact that we've got Neptune, so many planets retrograde. I didn't even talk about that. You've got, let's clean the slate real quick here. We are in retrograde city right now. So everything that's going to be happening during this week and into next week is going to feel extremely faded, but with a lot of information changing in the way that you thought it was going to be and the way that you thought it was going to look. The reason why is when you have Mercury and Jupiter in very hard aspects, and especially a Mercury retrograde. So we have Mercury retrograde 1 making an opposition to Neptune, which is retrograde as well. So that's 2. We've got Saturn, which is retrograde. We've got Pluto, which is retrograde. We've got Uranus, which is retrograde. That's 5 planets retrograde. Then you've got to also take in consideration that Chiron is retrograde. This is a recipe for major situations here, okay, that are dealing with everything will come to you. Retrogrades are retrograde. They come back to you. This is karma, especially during a solar eclipse with retrogrades, things that are divinely meant to happen. Karma, fate, however you want to call it. So instead of feeling like, God, I don't know how to say this, that you have some you can divinely intervene, this is where you accept and love what is coming your way. I think what's the hardest part is people want to intervene as much as they can. And they want to believe that, and people who watch my channel know that I'm much more into fate and destiny from all of my study of occult knowledge and everything that I've studied in all of my research. You can watch my movie Age of Deception, my understanding of the calendar system. But there's so much that has to deal with, divinely not truly, things happen for a reason. And everything that's going to be happening right now is for a reason. I'm trying to find this awesome picture, but it's nowhere to be found here. Bummer. You know, it's like everything is perfectly set up to go and end up right. So don't freak. Retrogrades are a break for you to just sit back and let it all happen. And have the realizations with the Mercury retrograde and go, oh, I see it clearer now. I understand this now. This is definitely a time where Mars is direct. The planets that we've got direct, you need to see how they're reacting to this. The planets that are direct are Venus, Mars, Jupiter. That's it. Okay? So, our masculine and feminine, our drive and our wants, and Jupiter are, well, our hopes. So, our hopes, our drive, and our wants are what are leading us forward. But all these other places like stopping and processing and planning correctly. 2, going deeper. 3, not understanding it all the way and questioning is off. 4, Neptune. Did you check in psychically before you freaked out and looked at your drive, your hopes, your wants? Did you see what psychically is being said? And 5, Uranus, did you look around at everything and every situation from every angle before you came up with your conclusion yet? I guess the end result is there's truly nothing to fear. This is the greatest opportunity for you to make the biggest, brand new change of your whole entire life that's going to lead very positively by the choices you make now until December. But once Saturn comes in Capricorn and Jupiter's in Scorpio, that decision's made and that choice has been made in that direction. That's the free will that I believe we have, are the choices we make of what side of the coin we have. But for some reason, the choices we make of whatever is received here during this next week and a half will determine how we enter one of the longest phases that we have seen in about 1,000 years. You know, because what I've wanted to show people is, and I guess I'll just do it since we have the time. Why not, right? I'm trying to help people as much as I can understand what's going on in the universe, and I might as well be that person right now. Let's go back in years. I don't want to do 1,000 years. So, okay. So 1776 was the last time Pluto left Capricorn. So you do 250 years. So then you go back to 1520. Then you go back to 1370. Right? Like let's say 68. Okay. Go. This is when we had Jupiter and Cap, Pluto and Taurus. So no, I'm way off on the years. So the last, see, this is where you have to actually kind of see. What we're looking for is, when was the last time that Jupiter, Saturn, oh no, what happened? We were so good. It was like, we were at like 1270. Okay. Pluto entered Capricorn then. So what I want to do is go to the years again. Okay. Pluto and Jupiter and Capricorn, but no Saturn. So you have to go earlier than that because it just didn't happen then. You have to go to 1,000. Let's do so 1273 minus 250, 1,020. Close enough. Okay. Pluto's in Capricorn. You know, it's been over 1,000 years since Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, all in Capricorn together at the same time. Over 1,000 years. And for some reason, there's this 1,000-year cycle that always happens with this Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto cycle. I mean, they're all pretty close here in 1248. But they actually happen in Aquarius, if you see. Kind of close by, right? So, but basically, long story short, we're going through a transit that's going to start its entry in 2017, at the end of it, December, into 2018, forever. It's going to last and begin its cycle as Jupiter will enter Capricorn at the end of 2019, and with Pluto there to change the reality forever. And you right now, and all the events that are coming towards you right now, and to make you feel happy, are determining where you're going to be in that new reality. So that's what I'm here to spread the message of today. And for you not to fear all the things going on, and for you to truly make this reality great. Make it fun. Please help all the other people on this planet make it great by you spreading your greatness and happiness and non-fear and positivity right now. Because every person that decides not to is the weight that holds us back more. By getting distracted into people who are creating disharmony and negativity instead of joining them and fighting them, why don't you just go join the positive team and just go be positive, and let's outdo all of them to where they have nothing left to do but be positive. I know that might sound like the way that you don't think it's going to work, that you have to go to war, that you have to rebel against them, that you have to battle against them. But more importantly, you need to go show the way. And Leo is about showing the way, the light, and being the leader and showing the roar. And at the end of the day, the roar isn't something that is to start a war, but to show the pride that you have in your honorability, your courage for what you stand for in your life without having to become a crazy, neurotic, rebellious person in the world, and bring up your true raw power of your heart and your dedication to a higher power above. Anyway, I hope that helped. Spreading my best to you all. Thanks so much for all your support. Come out to my awesome retreat, November 3rd through 6th. Join now. Go to leokingevents.com. We're doing a live bonfire. We're doing an awesome ceremony inside. We're doing spiritual dance music. We're doing an awesome presentation. We're doing a meet and greet. We're doing it all together, all about Jupiter and Scorpio. And I'm going to teach people and help people right before this crazy window of Saturn coming into Capricorn. Literally this 1,000-year cycle that's coming, okay? I want to prepare people. I'm getting ready to prepare people because from that 1,000 to 1,300, as I just showed you, was major in changing how the world worked. And we're about to go through that cycle next. And we're getting ready in 2020 for Jupiter and Saturn. And I'm trying to prepare people for this crazy 2-year window here of 2018, 2019, into 2020. And to rise through your fear, to rise through all of your shadows. Join me at leokingevents.com. Thanks for all your support. I truly appreciate it. If you want to watch my horoscopes every day, go to leokingapp.com. And I'll see you all later.
The Leo King app is the world's first and leading video and notification astrology horoscope app for iPhone, Android, and computer. Get daily spiritual videos and addictingly accurate notifications alongside weekly sun sign horoscopes, tarot videos, and exciting new age entertainment videos by celebrity astrologer and TV personality David Palmer, the Leo King. Join today. You have nothing to lose with a 7-day free trial and wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.
Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.